Hey everyone, it's the end of a fun Tuesday. Daniel's gonna probably make a ton of noise, but today was our Sunlight Box Day, and that means our curriculum for next year has arrived. And so I thought, I've had actually a few questions come my way about what we use for homeschool, what that looks like. And I know there's a lot of people who have just been curious about what our day looks like. So I thought I would go ahead and show you guys what for us that's going to look like. Next year we're making a few changes. Elijah will be transitioning, instead of using the PACE booklets for his language arts and things like that. We're just going to use Sunlight for that. We already have the books that go along with it. It'll be a good fit. So I'm going to show you guys what our binder looks like, and then we'll show you what. So History, Bible, and Literature. We're doing a 4-day curriculum, and this is stuff that we do. Both Annika and Elijah do this together. Language arts, this level goes along with the readers that are in with the History, Bible, and Literature, the level G. It's grades 7 through 9. And again, this is for next year, and so that's what Annika will be doing for her language arts. And then we will be doing science, is also level G, and it'll be geology, physics, and origins, and that's something that Elijah will be doing with us as well. So we've got, this is what a day will look like next year, and it's fairly similar. This is the same setup that we have going this year. Again, there will just be a couple minor differences. This year we've been doing Apologia Science. Next year we will be doing the Sunlight. So on just a day, we would start with Bible reading. So they'd just pull out their Bible, they'd read a chapter. This year it's actually 2 chapters, because the students read one and then the parents read one. But next year it'll just be 1 chapter a day. And then they would use, this is part of what came, we would be doing a chapter in this Children's Bible Field Guide. And then they would be also working on memorizing Psalms 90 verses 1 through 2, and they would work on that all week. There are questions that go along with the Bible reading, and there are also questions. There's a printout of the memory verse. It's right here. They can go here or just read in their Bible all week, and then they will listen to this album, track 7, which I believe will end up being from, don't know if you can, our dwelling place, and that'll be from Psalm 90, so it kind of goes along with it. Story of the World. Next year we would end up reading Story of the World. So, this is the wrong volume. I grabbed the wrong volume. But they would be just reading an intro. This one's the 2nd volume, so the 2nd half of the year. So just reading a few pages that'll kind of set the stage. So on the first day they wouldn't read the other story, but the second day we would also read a couple pages from The Kingdom Strikes Back. So next year we're actually learning about ancient civilizations and kingdoms, basically. So then we would end up doing the read aloud would be, I didn't grab the poems book either.
I grabbed it.
Okay. And there would be a current events thing we would end up doing too.
Big book.
The Golden Goblet, we will read just a chapter a day. And
not as heavy as I thought.
The chapters, they vary in length. And these are living stories, so they are fiction, but they are set in real places and usually will refer to real people, so that it just makes learning fun.
That's what type of books I like to write.
That's the type. And then we would end up doing a poem. So we would do, I think most days we'd end up doing a poem in there. And then Annika next year will be reading, her first book that she would be reading is Mara, Daughter of the Nile.
And I'm looking forward to it.
She's looking forward to it. Now at the end of each, goodness, yes, it's a heavy, thick stack. Because the read alouds each day, they do have, they have questions that go along with each of the readings. So this is for the poems. There would be questions to answer, and then they would also go ahead and go to, okay. This would be for that first chapter. It does a vocabulary bit here, so you learn a little bit about that. There's cultural literacy, so it would teach the different words that you may not be familiar with because they're from a different culture, and it teaches you what that means. And then it would also have discussion questions after you read it to just kind of figure out what, the point is of it, of the story. There's morals, there's ethics, there's just making sure you retained what you heard. And then we would go to the next section. And for Annika, this is going to be her language arts. I do have another binder that has language arts for Elijah.
Do you want me to go get it?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That goes along with the readers that he will be doing and the questions for his readers too. So Annika, she will be reading, on the first day, she'd be reading the first chapters of Mara, Daughter of the Nile. And on day 1, she would practice dictation and mechanic practices.
I don't like dictation.
Yeah, so this is the dictation right here. This is what she would be having to write. And then, there's actually the dictation right there. And then we would go over different things. There is an activity sheet for her that it once again says what the dictation is, and then she would go through and learn about the different mechanics and go through and practice it, just doing some activities.
And it's only a 4-day week.
It's only a 4-day week. And then we would go to science. And so...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to science.
Yeah.
It sounds fun.
So we would be reading... Let's see. We've got the What's All About Science book here somewhere. Oh, yeah, right here. So we would be reading some from What's All About Science. Just 6 pages on the first day. Varying amounts. And then... Let's see.
That's for languages.
Nope.
Oh, science.
Yep, cohesion and adhesion. So they would be doing cohesion and adhesion, but they would just do from this book on Thursday. So there's the cohesion. So we'd be going through here and getting that together. We do have the supplies that came with the kit. And then it gives us a shopping list of what to get for the following week if we don't already have it. I think usually it's supposed to be stuff that we should have on hand, like a penny or a towel and a calculator. I think fairly easy. There's questions that go along with the reading, and then there's also an activity sheet that they would do.
Sounds like fun.
So they would
matches.
So we would just do...
We're going to play with fire.
She's a little bit excited, can you tell? And then for Annika, her readers are in this book, the questions should be...
I'll help.
It's not a light book, in case you were curious. Let's see.
My fingers.
Go ahead. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, then she would have... For the readers, she would have each day questions, and it would be the same setup as the read alouds. We will go through an overview of what it's about. It shows where and when, so she can look at the map, which we do have in the binder as well. Cultural literacy, and then the specific questions to discuss after she reads it. Let's see. We also have our math. We really like Matthew C. She is almost done with the one that goes right before this.
It's the same book that you have.
Yeah, it's I believe Delta.
Yeah.
I think is where she's at now. So this is the next one. We haven't stored this away because she's going to use it before next year.
Yeah.
And it'll just go through fractions. There's a DVD that'll give instructions, and it's the same DVD they've been using for, I think, at least 20 years, something around there. And then Annika has decided she wanted to switch for spelling as well. So she's using this, you can't see it there. It is Spelling UC instead of the, let's see, which spelling?
All about spelling, yeah.
Yeah, it is all about spelling. So this is what she's been doing today. It shows you vowel chunks, learning to recognize those. And then just do her copy work, having the words spelled correctly. So that's what she's doing. So that's kind of where we're at for next year. We're kind of excited. I'm really looking forward to the ancient civilizations. I think that's been my favorite period to study. Annika, you want to come share what are you most excited about for next year?
Science.
Science, yeah.
Fire.
What else?
Well, I'm excited to learn about what other people think of a culture for, like, what their religion is.
Yeah.
So we can help them realize that there's only one God.
Yeah. Well, and this year we've been learning about the Eastern Hemisphere. What's been the most interesting country we've kind of learned about so far that you think? What's been your favorite book to read this year?
Well, I'm ahead in my readers, and and it's about Jerusalem.
Okay.
So I'm actually enjoying learning about Jerusalem from that readers.
Yeah. And what about the read aloud? What's been?
Well, we've been learning about Kublai Khan.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Has that been interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it's kind of a little gruesome, some of the stuff, huh? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think will be the most fun besides science next year? What culture or what civilization do you think it'll be the funnest to learn about?
Italy.
Oh, the Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Roman Empire? Yeah. I think the Roman Empire is one of the funnest ones, too. Elijah, do you want to talk about homeschool? What's your favorite thing about homeschooling? What do you think is the funnest thing about homeschooling?
History.
History, yeah? Okay. What's been the funnest thing that you've learned as far as history goes this year?
I learned about, like, books.
Yes.
And me and Annika also did the purple binder.
Well,
which
the
has
history, yeah.
Each,
So we learn about each country. What country has been fun learning about?
I like to learn about, Japan.
You liked learning about Japan?
Yeah,
Is that kind of fun? Yeah. Do you remember the book we read for Japan?
No.
Young Fu on the
Oh, yeah.
Upper Yangtze? You liked learning about that?
Oh, yeah, that was fun. We learned about bound feet, which is that.
Annika.
Yeah, bound feet and being a metalsmith. Coppersmith? Metalsmith?
The copper.
The coppersmith.
Annika.
So that's what our days look like as far as homeschooling goes.
Family. Becca's family. Annika, come look at this.
He's watching Ryan's World.
So there's a plug for that. Everybody have a great night.